I would say good morning, but I don't know what time you're watching this. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever you are in the world.
You just don't know.
Hey, well, I don't know either. So,
fucking hell.
How are we doing, Maidenettes and Maidenites? Welcome to episode 44 of Maidencast, the show where we go through the entire Iron Maiden back catalogue, one album at a time, and stopping along the way, doing all the solo albums and side projects and everything in between. And this week we are doing Smith Kotzen, the side project of Mr. Adrian Smith, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Richie Kotzen, yeah.
Of the Winery Dogs, which is a three-piece with Michael Portnoy, but he's also done the rounds in a bunch of bands.
Most notably Poison.
Big and Poison, and
when Poison got serious and mature was when Richie was in them, and when they went from being a cock rock band to you know what, we want to be a hard rock band, and the album he did with him is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, a collaboration between the two. Every song is a duet, vocally, and they pretty much handle all the guitars and bass between them. Well, I don't think Adrian Smith did any bass on it. I think
he did.
Done it.
He played bass on the last 3 tracks.
Oh, okay. And then Richie Kotzen also did the lion's share of the drumming, but our good friend Nico popped in for one song, and I think someone else jumped on.
Yeah, they got a drummer for the last 3. What's the guy's name?
I remember looking that up. And
Tal Bergman did the last 3
now this guy's got a website, and his CV is
one of them.
As long as your arm. Yeah, he's drummed for everyone. Yeah, so there's not a lot of background to go into, really. We did do an initial reaction earlier this year for the album, but we said we'll do an in-depth review in order. So we stuck it to the back of the queue and just did a quick reaction. But here we are, we made it.
Yeah, be interesting to see how much our views have changed since the initial reaction to actually doing the album.
Mine hasn't that much, must say. I still think it's quite an enjoyable album. It's not one I, go straight to. It's an easy listen, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it would be. I mean, considering where they recorded it, it'd be fucking easy listening as well, wouldn't it? The fucking Turks and Caicos Islands out in the fucking West Indies or whatever.
You don't get a lot of death metal.
No, that's it. This was actually recorded after Senjutsu.
Really? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
This was recorded February 2020, just before the world went to shit. Senjutsu was about fucking 6 months old then. It's crazy how things turned out. This has been out for a better part of a year. And Senjutsu's still fucking locked away on Steve's fucking laptop.
Well, it's not even on Steve's laptop, is it?
Air gapped and Christ knows what else,
Yeah, no, it's not even a thing. They put it in the vault, didn't they?
Yeah.
They went, no one's hearing it. No one's thingy, because Steve does get paranoid about albums getting leaked, doesn't he?
He does, big time, yeah.
He got paranoid that people were hanging about outside the rehearsal studio once. And
well, we always hear about he's on this quest for, sonic perfection. I suppose he wants people to hear it either like on the vinyl or CD or, Apple lossless, as they did that deal with them, didn't they, where they remastered everything in the Apple high-res codec and all that. So, he's old school, isn't he?
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that he thought people would be standing outside a rehearsal studio like with a recorder going, I can hear the new Iron Maiden album.
I fucking would.
Yeah.
I'd be like Bruce fucking Willis in the air vent, mate. I tell you, just falling along.
Now I know what a TV dinner feels like.
That's it.
All right, so there's not really a lot of background in this, so we might as well get straight into the music.
Just a couple of fucking guitarists who were bored and had a bit of time, isn't it? Released from their day jobs. I mean, because it's weird, because Mr. Big, fucking that's who he was in beforehand. Richie Kotzen, obviously, with the Winery Dogs, they're sort of a hard rock super group, aren't they? Obviously, with the bass player from Mr. Big and obviously Mike Portnoy.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still going. I think they're
they are.
Been put on the shelf.
Well, it's with one of a million fucking bands that Mike Portnoy's in, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
They sort of do the rounds. I mean, he's doing obviously he's doing Metal Allegiance at the minute. They're making a comeback. So
my understanding was it's everything's more or less tied up. I think record deal's finished, and it's like, yeah, we might come back to it at some point, but everyone's busy. Yeah. And our initial work is done. So who knows? Maybe one day. I think was the latest. But
must be nice to be in that situation, though, isn't it? Just have these projects so you can just go, oh, you know what? I want to scratch that itch now. Let's fucking uncork that one, and fair play to them.
Yeah, I saw a thing with Michael Portnoy recently as well, saying about Dream Theater, and he's like, yeah, but Dream Theater have done like 2-3 albums. They about to release their 4th.
Yeah, they just released a single. The other,
single, and he said, like, I've done something like 30 albums since then.
Yeah,
I thought it was quite funny. So,
but he's always working
in that race. So yeah,
he's always got something on the go.
Oh yeah, he's always he's like
Phil Anselmo, isn't he? He just so many different musical styles and bands on the go. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm surprised them two ain't got together to do something, because that,
well, Metal Allegiance, they must have crossed paths.
Oh,
at
they did.
Point.
Yeah, they did. He did one of the songs on Metal Allegiance. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That was actually a pretty good song, if I recall.
Yeah.
Those 2 albums are fucking really good. They are like the ultimate thrash albums.
For what they are, yeah. Because normally projects like that, you rarely get a good one.
No,
a really good one. And
I think both albums are fucking really good, and they pick the guest stars well.
Yeah,
they write songs to suit the voices as well. It's pretty cool. But no, I do like them.
I've got one of them somewhere. Yeah, but I've not got. I think it was the second one I got for some reason, and I didn't get the first one. Just never got round to it.
Yeah, no, the first one's awesome.
Yeah, I've just
it's got a really good documentary on it as well. Comes with the CD, with all that, like making it in studio and all that.
I think you lent me it. Did you buy it?
I've got it. I've got it on the shelf.
Yeah.
One of the few times I bought physical media in the last 20 years. If it's got a DVD or a Blu-ray with it, I tend to get it.
Yeah. Right. So let's get into it then. Taking My Chances.
Yeah, this is obviously this was the first single. The first video, and with a black and white video with them, Adrian walking around London and Richie walking around LA. Remember, because Adrian was pissed off because he says, I'm walking around London, it's freezing cold, and Richie's swimming about in LA, and it's like really hot. I
quite like it. It's got a bit of a funky.
Yeah, it's just a heavy rocky riff, lets you know what you're in for straight away, doesn't it? As soon as the song starts, you're like, right, here we go. Make no mistake, we are on this path.
There's a nice contrast, I think, between the vocals as well. I mean,
they've got different enough styles, haven't they? But they do complement each other. I mean, Richie's voice I think is the weaker of the two. I still think Adrian's voice is massively underrated.
Well, he's quite high pitched, isn't he? I mean, I was thinking all the way through this album, like, if not to sacrilege, but if like Soundgarden ever wanted to do a gig again, I think this guy could sit in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not sacrilege. I mean, Chris Cornell was obviously a great vocalist, but there are other great vocalists. I mean, look, open to that fact.
I hate to break it to all vocalists and rock stars. If Queen can sell out Wembley Stadium without Freddie Mercury, none of you are safe.
And that's
all there is to it.
Let's face it, Adam Lambert ain't fit to lace fucking Freddie's shoes, is he?
I've got nothing really. I'm not a part of the Adam Lambert hate club myself, but
no, I'm not nothing against him personally. Obviously he's got a good voice, but it's not Queen.
Yeah, but
go out under a different name.
Yeah,
do some Queen songs and you're happy. But
I think the thing
anyway, that's a
different debate, isn't it? But the fact is, it happened. Wembley Stadium sold out, and he's been in them for like nearly 10 years now, so he's doing something right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same, like, Thin Lizzy with without Phil Lynott, Alice in Chains.
There's always a replacement there because there are so many great singers in the world.
And I mean, I'll just saying, hypothetically, if Soundgarden did do a gig, this guy could do it, I think.
Yeah, do it easily because he's that level. Yeah.
And Adrian has like a real
as we've discussed, he's got a Springsteen type husk.
He's got like a it's a smoky but smooth.
Yeah,
right. It's and
not
only that as well.
Old school Bryan Adams, Bruce Springsteen style vibe he's got going on.
But Adrian also sounds his age, and that was something that I meant to talk about when we was reviewing the singles with Iron Maidens. Bruce now, he sounds like his age, like his voice has got a certain
it's matured, isn't it? It's
crack to it now. But it's like, but you can only get that from. I'm liking that he's starting to sound his age. Like he's. I'd have no thing of he didn't sound like he did 30 years ago. No, does he not?
Yeah.
But no, I like that it sounds mature. He sounds like he's.
It brings something else to what you know already, doesn't it? It adds another edge to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think Smith has he's got that. It's kind of silky but rough at the same time. It's like a cigar. it's
yeah.
No, that's it. He's got a rum and cigar.
No, like I say, he has got that quality.
Yeah. So next track is, if I got this right, it's Running. Yeah.
Running. Yeah, this is quite a heavy intro. The old drums come in, and it's proper bluesy, look, really, but heavy blues, isn't it? It's really fucking proper grinder of a song.
I think it's got a great chorus, actually.
Yeah. It has. Yeah, I was listening to it not long ago, actually, and it is an earworm. But the thing with these, they sort of review themselves, these songs, because they're just, like you say, it's an easy listen, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, I said, I think this would be a good soundtrack to the summer. It's one for a long drive.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of it's a cold beer on a balcony of a bar in an afternoon with on a hot sunny day. It's just a relaxing rock album.
That's the thing with Adrian. I mean, obviously Primal Rock Rebellion aside, which was totally different for him.
Yeah.
He's the ASAP albums, even the second Psycho Motel album especially. They're all just fire and forget albums, aren't they? And I don't mean that disrespectfully. They're just they quench your thirst for what you need, sort of thing. If you want to listen to that style of music, you put them on and you're like, yeah, that's satisfied me, sort of thing. You're not necessarily going to go back to them, or they're not necessarily songs going to stick in your head. But when you need a certain sound, you think, Smith. We'll put some Smith on.
It shows how versatile writer he is as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, he's got songs for every mood, and it sort of thing, every style.
Yeah. I think that ASAP albums, I think that's such an underrated gem, and I do think that deserves a proper reissue.
Could have been huge if they channeled it. And obviously, he wouldn't have been because he just left Maiden and he probably didn't want to do it. But if that was channeled at the right people and the right label and all that, fucking hell, that would have been in a stratosphere, mate. Especially back in the 80s.
It had all the ingredients. It had everything that was needed. It's a shame it didn't kick off. But then again, I don't suppose it could have, because of how it was released. It was a side project release at the time. He was in Maiden at the time, wasn't he?
Well, it came out in 89, didn't it? So this was obviously right. It's that release that made him think, oh, you know what?
Yeah. It's a bit like Tattooed Millionaire, isn't it? It's
it sort of lit a fire, didn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, Running, a very nice song, and like I say, great chorus, and I think it goes without saying, we'll get it done now. The solos.
Oh fuck yeah! Well, it's fucking. What do you expect? We all know Adrian. He's arguably the finest soloist in Maiden, and obviously Richie Kotzen he's a supreme player, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't get to this sort of level. These two geezers don't meet up if they're not on the same wavelength, do they?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're completely different styles of the metal rock spectrum, but they've met in the middle because they're supreme. They're almost virtuoso players, and they could fit into any style, any whatever, because they know the A to Z of guitar playing, and they're that good. So yeah, the solos speak for themselves. So.
Yeah. So we get like a slower, again,
Scars.
bluesier.
This
But,
is the highlight of the album for me.
Yeah, this is a
What
great
a fucking
song.
And when they released the video for this, it immediately spoke to me more than Taking My Chances did. Taking My Chances was all right.
It was an album opener. Yeah.
The thing is, Richie's voice sometimes can. Not that he can't sing, obviously, because he can. But I get now what people say about Miles Kennedy in Alter Bridge. There's a certain sort of not sort of nasally almost thing going on, and I don't know what it is, but I don't see it with Miles, but I can now see where people are coming from, and I think it affects Richie. But this song works for me because Adrian takes the lead on the vocals.
Yeah,
and it's such a good song. I mean, it reminds me of a couple of influences. It reminds me of Lynch Mob, old George Dokken.
I don't know much about that band actually. I know you're a fan.
Oh, that debut album, fucking hell, that was a work of art.
George Lynch has joined Rat.
Yeah, George Lynch, George Dokken, fucking hell, get a life. This Dokken was band, George Lynch was guitar. Joined Rat, has he?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I love Rat.
Sure,
so that's
Rat.
like, I'm gonna say if that's true, that's like a fucking. That's one in Vince
big
McMahon.
band. Yeah, it's a big name.
That's one of them Vince McMahon memes, you know, where you fucking it gets more and more thingly.
Yeah.
That's him joining Rat is a fucking that's a mind blower.
Because they've just they've just settled their lawsuit, wasn't it? There was a thing between them. There was two rats, a bit like with Queen's, right? And I'm going through Blabbermouth now. And I'll go through it as and when, otherwise we'll end up coming away from the thing. But yeah, Scars is such a cool, laid back track, but epic at the same time. It's it just slowly moves, but it's like the song emerges. It's like a cloud.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah,
taking thing, and that gorgeous lead guitar. It's that it's the melody.
Yes,
that lead. So it's at the end of the thing. Scars. That.
Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, fucking fantastic, and that just cuts through as well.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and, I mean, obviously we talked about the solos, but it's weird how the solo section. This reminds me of Queensryche. I think it's Della Brown. It's weird, like reminiscent. Reminds me of that because obviously the two players in Queensryche at that time were supreme as well, weren't they? Wilton and DeGarmo.
Yeah,
talking
at their prime. I mean, I don't know who's in Queensryche now, but
yeah, I mean,
everyone keeps leaving.
Michael Wilton fucking left. He does something to do with planes now, or something, aviation. I say it's fucking weird, but no, those two in their prime, they were pretty much untouchable. A bit like Murray and Smith were. You've always get these two, don't you? And the way Richie and Adrian are working together, they could form a partnership easy. But again, it's high level players. They knit together.
Yeah, here we go. George Lynch is very confident that he would have been a good fit. Oh, maybe.
Got me excited for nothing.
Oh, I might have got that wrong. Sorry.
Stand down, red alert.
Yeah. He's joined Dokken for a couple of shows, though. I don't know if he's made an appearance or something. Right. George Lynch.
Sorry.
Forget the guy. Don Dokken.
Yeah.
They need their heads banging together.
Yes.
That is like the most. If you ever look into it, that is like the pettiest, just draining of all metal feuds. It's just
it's fucking nightmare because it's such a fucking great band. I mean, obviously you appreciate a certain style. You got to like cock rock to like them, but some of the stuff they churned out in the 80s and it was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I saw that somewhere. Yeah, Jizzy Pearls from Love Hate is now joined Quiet Riot. It's like, let it go. Yeah. No, I think I got that wrong. So, sorry about
that. Joe talking bollocks.
Right, so moving on to Some People.
It's this is the first one that doesn't really say much to me. It's perfectly good song, but it was just sort of passed me by. It's the first one I found myself not really listening to, but I was sort of on my phone, you know, scrolling sort of thing, and just having it as sort of a background accompaniment almost.
I want to know who gets on his nerves, because he goes, not you, but you know who.
What's that? Oh, right, yeah. But coming after Scars, it was such a high bar. And I think it's suffered from just being, like I say, it's filler, but it's perfectly good song, but it just doesn't really say much.
Yeah, I think it's another one. It just,
yeah, it plays itself, doesn't it? It's just there, and you know, you get comfortable with it. It's almost you don't notice it because you're comfortable with what the music is, or sort of thing. You know, it doesn't stick out because it's
not offensive though, is it? It's not.
No, it's totally inoffensive. Yeah,
and where it's a short song as well, you don't really.
That's it. Yeah,
feel the need to skip either. All right, well, moving on. We've got we're blazing through this one.
Well, it reviews itself, doesn't it? I mean, Glory Road. I've fucking made a note here saying this is better classic rock than anything on the British Lion albums.
Yes.
This is what, and if Richie was singing for them, both of them albums would have been fucking classics. Because he's got the balls to the voice, and this is the best thing the British Lion never wrote.
Yeah, it's plain to see, isn't it? Like Adrian just knocks it out of the park, and and it's a different project every time.
Yeah,
you know, and
whatever he puts his hand to, he writes a song that in that genre would be a smash hit if it was put out at the right time.
Yeah, but Glory Road's another one with a chorus that just sings itself. You know, it's a nice mellow sort of laid back song, but then it just soars up for that chorus, and then you got this fantastic lead battle between the two of them going back and forth.
Awesome.
And like I say, it's one to order another beer to. I think this is a perfect album to play in a bar, in a laid back.
Yeah, one not the sort of bar you get over here, but one of the old American bars you see that out in they sort of have them, don't they? You seem to walk into them and they're sort of rock orientated places or country and all that. You know, it would go down well on a jukebox there.
Right, so moving on, we've got Solar Fire.
Here we go. Is the man.
Yep.
And this is immediately you notice a difference, and it's the difference between having someone who can play drums or having a drummer. And Nico is undoubtedly a drummer. Nothing to say. Richie plays drums. You haven't noticed. I've noticed because I'm a drummer, but the drums parts are perfectly well played on the first sort of 5 songs. But straight away, the man comes in, and it starts off straight away. Boom! It's instant. This is a player, and the song benefits from it because for me, this is the second best song on the album, and it's the first song that's really upbeat, and all the rest of them have been sort of mid-paced and sort of bluesy thingy. But this is like, hello, we're going to rock out now. Let's get Nico in, really fucking throw it down. And it caused such a stir recently because they did the video for this, and Nico weren't in it.
Well, fucking hell, right?
It's like, no, what are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah, I did think that. I did have a quick look because I saw some videos had come up and I hadn't watched any. And it was just like, oh, but I guess that's it's not even a live band, is it, that they're using?
No, it's weird. I mean, because they've said they want to play this, they want to tour. Adrian said he wants to tour it. How the fuck that work? I don't know, but they get the drummer in who obviously
maybe they do a second album and do it then.
It may very well be that drummer in the who plays the last 3 tracks in the video for Solar Fire. I don't know what it looks like.
I mean, I think this was pretty much a very effortless recording, and I don't think they won't have any trouble sticking another album out. Then you got 2 albums worth of material to play.
Exactly.
So you got a full set. Chuck a couple of covers in. I'm sure that won't do any harm.
I'd love to see Adrian do what Paul Di'Anno does, which is like what Blaze does, play a career spanning set. Because he's got such varied material. It'd be fucking awesome just to see him play the garage or something like that.
And do ASAP, do a bit of Primal Rock with Paley. Yeah,
so good.
some Psycho Motel, just go right through it all. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Few rarer Maiden songs that's he wrote, so he could maybe pull off the vocals on.
Yeah.
Or slightly adjust them to give them
a
different.
You could play Reach Out, obviously the B-side from
something like that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, or one that he would have wrote that he could reduce down to like an acoustic song or something like that. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, it'd be awesome. But no, so let's
put it out there.
I was gonna say you've got the magic touch, Joe. Yeah. So let's fucking start this one off.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tour with John Bush.
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah.
So You Don't Know Me.
Yeah, proper.
Bloody should by now.
That's it.
It's been about 20 years, but yeah.
Proper mean and moody intro.
Mm.
And it's got another one with a great chorus.
Bit of a long one, this as well, isn't it? 7 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on that because the song effectively ends about 5 minutes, and you've got a 2-minute jam session at the end. It's like, stop it, boys. We all know you can play.
Well, I suppose I've got to fill a bit of time, haven't they?
That's it, yeah. But yeah, so it's basically it's a 2-minute jam session solo thing. But the first 5 minutes, it's a pretty good, another more bluesy fucking, it's just another good solid rock song. I
mean, the chorus as well. I mean, I think it's the closest we'll get to anything being really heavy on this album. It's so much like almost a bit of a grungy crunch to it.
Yeah,
like in an Alice in Chains sort of way. Yeah. But yeah,
Adrian has done that in the past. He did it on a second Psycho Motel album. There was
of course,
a couple of Alice in Chains moments. So it's obviously a band stuck in the back of his head somewhere.
Yeah. I Want to Stay.
Yeah, this was sort of a obligatory sort of ballad, really. And I don't really want to say it, but it's been done better elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's if there's one song that could have been left off the album, I think it's this.
I think the vocal melody's quite nice though. Again,
I'm not
all through the album. We've got really good choruses. But,
I don't want to I'm not dissing it. It's just it doesn't fit the tone. I know if you're in a classic, or not classic rock, if you're in a sort of a rock band from the 80s, you had to throw a ballad in. Obviously, every Bon Jovi, every Bryan Adams, every Def Leppard album had one. Yeah. But they were supreme writers. I don't think either of these guys suit that style. I think they're much more bluesy orientated. I mean, you could see this album being replacing the soundtrack to Roadhouse.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? The old Jeff Healey band. You could get the Adrian Smith band in the background playing the songs if they did a remake of it, and it would work. But that's why I just think this song doesn't fit the overall tone of the album.
Yeah, I could probably put this song on the Shag scene actually.
The Swayze scene.
You don't get that in films anymore, thank God. It's so many 80s films. It's just like, is this really necessary?
Yes. Sex sells, mate.
Sex sells, yeah. So that's we'd not long watched that actually, and it was
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it the other week. Me, my wife, and my daughter, and it was.
Sam Elliott comes into it. Like my wife actually recognised him when he started. I went, "Who's that?" She went, "I don't know." And when he started talking, she went, "No." And then it clicked. Like, it's his voice.
That's it. Yeah, he's got one of them voices, isn't he?
It's just mad seeing him young, because
fucking young. Jesus Christ, he was never young. He'd come out that age.
Yeah. But it was funny seeing him like clean, sort of clean shaven. He hasn't got a big moustache, is he? And
no, that's it. The old tombstone moustache. The old fucking... But no, great film.
We've made it to the end. So till tomorrow.
Bit of a bummer. A bit of a bummer way to end the album. Really. This could have swapped the order around and ended the album with Solar Fire.
Yeah,
go out of a bang. This is sort of a whimper, really. It's a bit of
it's another mellow one, but again, I think the chorus is quite catchy and quite.
There's some great music around the chorus. It's definitely the highlight of it. But it's as we've said, isn't it? You start your album how you mean to go on, and you end it how you want people to
remember it. Yeah.
For the next one. And it started quite well, obviously, with Taking My Chances, which was, heavy riffs in and all the rest of it. But it goes out with a bit of a whimper.
Yeah. All right. Well, overall, I think I think this was an experiment.
That was like a bowl of ice cream. That one, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is the quickest.
We're going for the
quickest Maidencast show ever. But no, I think overall it was an experiment. Experiment worth carrying out.
Thought, what should we do this? And they've gone, yeah, why not? Where should we do it? Let's go to the beach.
I think if it's a one-off, then it's a nice little one-off. But if it grows and becomes something else, I think there is room for improvement.
Yeah, big time.
There's stuff to build on.
Yes.
And if much like with British Lion, it was like, well, this is a pretty good debut, but there's tidying up needs a bit of doing, and that wasn't addressed on that second album. I think so. I'd be more critical of a second album from this project.
Yeah, it's
But as it stands, I'm reviewing it as a one-off, and Adrian does tend to jump from project to project.
It does, it's obviously just whatever he's itching to do at the time, he'll smash one out.
As with Prior and What Rebellion, that was a good one-off.
Yeah.
ASAP was a good one-off, and this is a good one-off. But again, it just goes to show how versatile a player and a writer Adrian Smith is. And when you separate, if you look at those projects, so you go ASAP, Psycho Motel, Primal Rock Rebellion, and this, that shows what Adrian Smith brings to the table.
Yeah.
Maiden.
That's it. That's big time. If everyone ever doubted what he did bring, it's like, well, this is it.
Mm. I'll give the album. Oh, go on.
No, sorry. I was going to say it's sort of a 6 out of 10, but it's not a shit 6 out of 10. It's just a few things that didn't work. It's just doesn't do enough to stand out. I mean, there's some genuinely brilliant moments on there with Scars and Solar Fire, and the rest of it is perfectly serviceable. It's scratched an itch, and it's like say it's a one-off, and there's a few things that let it down, but not let it down as such being shit, just not up to certain levels. But it's it's just an album that you could have on in the car, and
to me it's a good place. I'd give it a good solid 7 out of 10. It's not an album. This sort of style isn't something that I'd immediately jump for, but I do enjoy it, as and when it's needed. For classic rock, I do tend to go classic rock. If the people haven't been dead for 20 years, it's not. But when it comes to newer sort of classic rock, inverted commas, I normally listen to whatever's on Planet Rock at the time and enjoy it while it's on, but rarely buy it. So maybe Monster Truck or Blackstone Cherry, someone like that. They're all right. But
Monster Truck,
Alter Bridge. But that sort of thing. So it's not really something I tend to go for, but it's all right when it's on. And like I say, this is a nice, mellow, easy listen if you're having a mellow, easy day. So
it's a summer album, isn't it? It's
definitely.
Well, fucking hell, that was a.
This is awkward how short this is. It feels weird.
We stopped ourselves deviating. What's going on?
So, as always, thank you for watching. And you're getting off easy this show.
Next week is the final history lesson.
Yes, and then we're up until present day. We'll be doing Blaze Bayley's War Within Me, an album that with lockdown and touring becoming not a thing anymore, he just hurried up and did an album. And I don't think he owed anyone an album for quite a while after doing
after the trilogy. No, he's
straight. But he's gone and thrown another one out. It's good, solid material. I'm looking forward to diving into it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of it as well.
Because I haven't I've only heard a couple of tracks, but not enough to really form an opinion. And it's
And I listened to it and went, yep, it's still Blaze, it's still good.
Yeah.
And then I just stuck it on the shelf because I knew I was gonna.
Yeah, we'll be getting around to it.
Yeah.
But yes, I know we're obviously hearing it for really for the first time. So again, like most of Blaze's stuff, but he's definitely sent us on an interesting ride, the young man. So
so we'll be doing Blaze Bailey's War Within Me next. Around that time, we'll be doing a initial reaction to Sendoku, whatever the fuck it's called. We'll be doing an unboxing as well. I've pre-ordered the book edition, and you've took the dive and got the fan club box set. So yeah, we'll be doing an unboxing as well. Then after that, we'll probably do a few shows. We're doing our top 5. We'll be reviewing the live albums. We'll basically just go through album by album and then eventually knuckle it down to what we think the best live album is. We'll do another show. We'll be looking at the B-sides. A few shows like that, and then when we feel the time's ready, we'll then do an in-depth song by song of the album.
We've had a chance to actually absorb it.
Yeah.
By all accounts, it's
initial reaction to begin with, and then we'll do an in-depth one a few weeks down.
By all accounts, according to the reviews, it's one that you got to listen to a couple of times to even begin to understand it. So
exactly. But our good friend Dom Lawson, who we mentioned last episode, is giving it a 9 out of 10.
He loved. No, it wasn't actually Dom Lawson who reviewed it. It was some other guy.
I'm sure it was Dom Lawson.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Dom who did the review. Dom did the interview.
Yeah.
And he's obviously spoke about how great he is, but I don't think it was Dom Lawson who did the interview. They did the review. Sorry. In fact,
here we go.
Let's get there. Joe Daly gave it 9 out of 10.
Oh.
And he said, one listen isn't enough. With successive spins, Senjutsu continues to reveal its astonishing depth and a wealth of melodic treasures that will see it easily claim its place alongside the finest works of their canon, an unqualified masterpiece.
I will give a good...
That's a bold claim.
Good guess then that Dom Lawson will be reviewing it on Blabbermouth.
Probably.
There's no way you won't.
Yeah, Dom Lawson's going to review
it.
any.
Yeah. But so, he reviews regularly on Blabbermouth, so hopefully it'll be him that does that.
Yeah.
So, and he's bloody heard it as well.
I know,
he heard it early, didn't he?
Heard it on vinyl because Steve Harris didn't want it leaking, did he?
Oh, so we had to.
He played it on vinyl, yeah.
Yeah.
So they couldn't put the old USB drive in and all that shit.
Yeah. Oh, good for him. Yeah. So
that man trusts no bastard.
Yeah. You know, Dom Lawson is on was on Jim Will Fix It.
Oh, was he?
As an Iron Maiden roadie for a day.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he shared it. He was like, "This is when I was on telly." He went, "It's a bit awkward now, I know, but."
Jim, will you fix it for me? Hang around with a nonce for a day.
Well, he didn't hang about with a nonce for the day, did he? Yeah, he hung about with Iron Maiden. But I don't know if he's in the studio afterwards or what. But yeah, I didn't watch that much of it, to be honest. I saw he was eating dinner with him and everything. Well, good. And then he's like helping. I think he must have been carrying stuff for the roadies and that. Yeah, he became a roadie for a day.
Well, man.
So, yeah. And then he went on to be a writer for.
And then obviously one of the most respected ones as well. So fair play.
Righty ho, folks. Well, we'll be seeing you soon, and thanks for watching. As always, we are getting ever nearer to the end of the albums, and well, couldn't have timed it better, really. And it'd be nice to finish off with the main one. So, yeah, thanks as always for watching. And if this is your first one, welcome aboard. And feel free to go back and go through the playlist and go watch the others. As always, use this as an introduction or listen to it as an afterthought. Do it yourself. Go through the catalogue and have a listen, and then listen to us and see what you agree with, don't agree with. Leave us a comment. Plenty of you are doing that now. That's nice to see.
Yeah, thanks for all the kind words,
everyone.
People.
And yeah, we'll see you next time. Ta-da. If I can find the stop button, here it is. Right. See you later.